I find myself when I'm doing work, right? I'm working. I got this new mantra, right? I'll work and I get tired and look at. I end up looking up something, right? Maybe research when I'm doing work. I find myself back scrolling, right? My mantra is get back to work. Brian Tracy, listening to him, I adopt that. And welcome back to Good News ITW, episode 46. Stop scrolling and start living. In this episode, I'm gonna dive into all of the distractions, right? We scrolling. Even in conversation, man, we're not even giving our full divided attention to our loved ones when we're talking to them. We're talking to them scrolling, you know what I mean? The worst thing for me is if I'm having a conversation with you and you're scrolling, man. You know, I don't do none of that, man. I call that out, but also I had to check myself a long time ago. I used to have a conversation with people and I'm scrolling and talking to them. I'm like, what's the problem? But I realized, man, how can you give someone your full divided attention if you scrolling, not even looking at them, you know what I mean? So I had to stop that a few years ago, man. And so when I see it, I call it out. So if you find yourself in a conversation, I don't care who it is, and if you talking to them, not even looking at them, right? You're just scrolling. Man, stop, right? Put your phone down and give them your undivided attention. Sometimes you don't know that people really need you or that conversation, man. And that actually makes your bond stronger when you fully engage in a conversation. You know what I mean? If you sitting at your boss or trying to get an interview, you won't have your phone out scrolling, you know what I mean? So just take heed or just pay attention to when, that occurs. And also we scrolling so much that we focus on everybody's life, man. You know what I mean? It's so many people on social media sites. You got TikTok, you got IG, you got Snap, you got Twitter, you got all these things. You're looking at people live. They're posting what they want you to see. They're not really posting what's really going on. I call it fake news, you know what I mean? Because Kevin Gates said this one time, like, man, he stopped, watching, really being on social media, man. And multi-millionaire, rap career, all these good things. But he found himself, I think he said depressed. I don't want to, put my words in his mouth, but it's like he had to stop. And I used to see people looking at people's lives, right? I'm not a jealous person or a hater. I see someone doing it. I'm looking like, if they can do it, I can do it. But at the same time, I had to stop focusing on myself. I find myself when I'm doing work, right? I'm working. I got this new mantra, right? I'll work and I get tired and I end up looking up something, right? Maybe research when I'm doing work. I find myself back scrolling, right? My mantra is get back to work. Brian Tracy, listening to him, I adopt that from him with other things. But as you scrolling, just tell yourself, get back to work. And guess what I do? Get back to work, you know what I mean? Because we got a life of our own to fulfill and have fun. As you see the thumbnail, man, I'm doing these things and it's like I'm not even worried about no one else when I'm doing them. You know what? I'm a big kid, man. I like to do all kind of stuff. There's a pond in the back. I got a motor control boat. I love going out there. You know what I mean? Doing stuff like that. Going to anything. I think I'm going to putt, doing go-karts, hiking, walking. Any skating, bowling, even the board games, man. I still got a Wii. I got all the system, a Wii system. You know what I mean? Love playing Mario. But it's all about having fun, just living your life, you know what I mean? And just being in the moment, you know what I mean? We got these cameras out, phones out. It's crazy. And, I'm going to be honest, I'm guilty of that also, right? We may be somewhere in an event, we recording more than we even watching it. We're not even being there in the moment. You, right there. Yes. You know about this book? Granny's Principle, Life Lessons in Love with Grandma. This is a story of me and my grandma. She's breaking down some great old school principles like the best thing in life for free, face move mountains, a family that prays together stays together, along with a storyline. But also, I got the sequel to my granddad, Mr. Scott, Not Your Average Granddad, will be releasing on Grandparents' Day. You go www.mritw.com to grab the book or be on the waiting list for the second book. Back to the episode. They're in the moment, you know what I mean? Ever since, I'm gonna say this, a few years ago, I said, you know what? Bump all this recording, put my phone out. I'm just gonna live in the moment. Go to a concert, man. You know, I might throw a little video up, but I'm there in the moment, right? Any special occasion, anytime I'm there, I'm talking to someone, listen, my phone don't have to be out, man. I'm really enjoying or being present in the moment. We went away from that, man. It's like, you know, and I'm not knocking on one, but I'm just, ever since I changed that or I switched that, I feel more fulfilled. It's a better experience, man, when I'm just there. You know what I mean? I went to a couple of conferences. Now, I do love the Meta glasses, right? Because I can be in the moment as I'm wearing the glasses. It's recording. So try that. You know, if you don't have those glasses, man, they're pretty dope, right? Because you can get the best of both worlds. You can be in the moment, and also it's while you're not even paying attention, it's actually recording. And a lot of my conferences and whatnot, I'm doing that. And I got the clear frame so I can be indoors. Yes, the journey is over here, right? The future. But we don't even take time or embrace the journey. I heard this a while ago, like they said, you know, enjoy the journey, because once you get to the end, it's not gonna be as fun as you expect it to be, right? And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of times I realize when I look back, I was rushing the journey, right? Like, oh, let me get to the end. And yes, that thing you accomplish or to the end is great at the moment, but once you got it, it's like, you know what? I realized, even in the duplex, right? So I invested in, I think of my second investment property, and I had to fix up the duplex. You know, I went an hour away, drove, did some work. I did most of the work myself. And yes, I wanted it finished, but as I was doing it, I'm gonna be honest, I don't care. I will work day to night, get off my job, go, be there 2, 3, 4 in the morning, right? Got the music on, got a podcast on, just doing my thing. Those nights, man, I felt like I was, you know, back in the trenches, you know what I mean? I was just me in the grind, man. I'm getting it done. Every day I go back, okay, got the walls done. I got the floors done in this room. I'm telling you that once I look back at my videos as I'm doing the work, man, I had a great time, man. You know what I mean? Have a little drink if I wanted that, have my music, had a good podcast or a good book. Man, those nights of building that and fixing it myself, man, it's priceless, you know what I mean? Of course, when I finish it and I was renting it out, it's cool, but that whole journey, man, I really embraced that journey, man, and I had a good time, learning a lot of lessons, a lot of long nights in that duplex, fixing it up, man. Sometimes I had help, sometimes I was by myself, you know, but that whole journey was dope, man. Even buying the house, you know, the whole house buying process was pretty dope, you know. Well, at first it wasn't, you know, because I had to bust my butt to save up the money and whatnot. But when I truly looked at it, that whole process was a dope thing, man. Get to pick out the cabinets, get to pick out the flooring. Then you see them, you know, got the frame up. Then you come back, they got this going on. You know, the kids walking around looking like, oh man, they see their room getting built up. That process, yes, the house is here, but that process is priceless. I still got videos of us walking through when it's halfway done. You know what I mean? Able to pick out the lodge, you know what I mean? Right next to the pond, all that good stuff. So the journey, man, be present in the journey, because you don't know when, you know, you want to sit back and look at those memories, man, and document the journey. That's the one thing you gotta do. Anything you're doing, you gotta document. You know, I'm on my 4th book. You know, Not Your Average Granddad. It's actually in the review from Amazon. You know, I do self-publishing, right? And I'm proud of my son for doing the he helped me self-publish it, right? So cutting him a check for doing that is dope, you know what I mean? I had to make some correction for margin errors, but within the next 72 hours, definitely get the green light. And just doing that also is amazing. Going through the old pictures of my granddad. Like I said, this book is lessons he was taught. Lessons he taught me through all the great things we were doing. Shooting horseshoe, riding his Cadillac. Ping pong, fishing. It's lessons with that. So as I'm looking and going back through all the pictures of us doing it, I reminisce, and I'm like, man, I really learned a lot from my granddad, And again, the journey of doing this book is also, man, is awesome. So listen, man, one thing, if you don't take from this episode, if you're having a conversation with someone that you say that's your loved one, right? And if you find yourself talking and your head is down while they talking, man, put the phone down, give them your undivided attention, man. And I promise you, man, you're gonna be more connected, man, because you it's like that person gonna really see that you're there, man. And anyone who talk to me, if I'm having a conversation, if you on your phone scrolling, man, I'm just gonna stop talking. You know what I mean? Because I don't want half of your attention or whatnot. I need your full divided attention. You know what I mean? We all precious. We all valuable, man. So go out there and let's get it.